Welcome back, viewers. You're still here in Scope with me, Waqar Rizvi. In this final segment of today's show, we're going to discuss Julian Assange. So let's discuss this a bit further. We're joined now by our panelists. Mark Worth is the Executive Director of the Whistleblowing International and the European Center for Whistleblower Rights. He's joining us now from Berlin.
When you have a figure like Julian Assange, who universally is considered a cultural icon, a revolutionary figure, the question is, what is the response from the establishment, from the institutions, from the media, when someone steps so far out of the norms and sets a new standard for access to information? And in my personal view, I would call Mr. Assange an access to information activist, separate from a journalist and separate from a whistleblower. His crusade, his mission in his adult life has been access to information, regardless of whether or not the information exposes wrongdoing. He's been criticized for not redacting information, just putting out information in its whole form. So he's a completely unique figure in our time. But let me say that if you are in a position to be a hero, to be revolutionary, you have to act responsibly. You have to understand that that there can be costs with that. Many whistleblowers who I work with fully expect to be charged or retaliated against in other ways. They realize that, they understand that. So I think from Mr. Assange's personal point of view, he has to come to grips with the fact that if he was not aware that he could face consequences for what he's doing, then he's very, very naive.
All right, so then, Mark, what do you think is the lesson going forward? Because the one huge thing that Assange did for the rest of us around the world is WikiLeaks, isn't it? Where he created this platform where a lot of these documents, be it about wars or otherwise, could be spoken of very openly.
First, I want to congratulate Mr. Assange for what he's done. He has changed the world. He's motivated many, many people around the world in all regions to set up encrypted email systems, websites, Dropboxes, global leaks. All these different technological tools that people have were largely inspired by him and what Mr. Snowden did and Chelsea Manning and other people. So he deserves an incredible thank you for doing that. However, he would be treated more sympathetically by the prosecution in different countries, by the public, if he was a more sympathetic character. And this is a sort of a dirty secret in the world of whistleblowing, which I've been working for over 30 years. You have to put yourself forward in a very positive light. You have to take responsibility for your actions. He does not have a good media profile.
The case of Assange, as both of our guests have said, viewers, is complicated because it's hard to like the man himself, even though the work he has done has been vital for journalists such as us around the world and just others who want access to information freely. And they want to know what their governments are doing behind the scenes, whether or not their governments are involved in war crimes or human rights violations, etc. But Assange himself has, of course, misstepped a number of times in life. Why did he evade the case in Sweden? Would he have gotten a fair trial? Those political realities also need to be taken into account. And what kind of a precedent does his treatment set for the rest of us around the world? Is this about journalism, or is this just about the man, Julian Assange, and his personal actions? Those are huge questions which remain, of course, outstanding and need to be debated regularly. We'll leave it there for now, though. I've been Waqar Rizvi. Thanks for watching this episode.